What are the requirements of business acquisition? Okay, so what are the requirements? There is no, the great and bad thing about business acquisition is there really is no hard and fast requirements, right? You can go and acquire a business with literally 100% seller finance deal, right? Or you have to go out there and find a bank to finance the deal, right? There's a million ways to get an acquisition done. And so the requirements is you find a business that the seller wants to sell. You find the business, preferably the way we do it, that's cash flowing very well to where even if you take out a loan to pay it or seller financing to pay it, you're still making good cash flow on it to where it's worth your time and risk. As well as you have the ability to not only acquire it, but either the ability to manage it is in the business itself already, or you're going to have to do it yourself. A willing seller, a ways of financing the deal, and a way to continue operating that business post-acquisition. Those are the three things that you're talking about. What's your advice on deciding whether to spend your money on your girl or your business ideas? Oh, look at this. You got some spicy questions. What's your advice on deciding whether, okay, I guess I would ask for more context here, because let's say, and I'm going to say this is in the most genuine way. Let's say you want to go on a trip with your girlfriend, or you want to get her a gift for her birthday. You have to decide between getting a gift for your girl and starting your business idea. Then you probably shouldn't be buying that much, unless you're like buying an engagement ring and this is the one. That's a great idea. But if it's not you're not at that point in your relationship, I think she would agree as well that focus on something that is going to materially change your financial situation. All right. So if it's, let's say it's $1,000 to spend on this, setting up this business, or learning more about acquisitions, or learning about real estate investing, whatever it is, or spend $1,000 on this thing for my girlfriend, I would say if she were to think very nice and unselfishly about you, would probably say, go figure this skill out that is going to greatly benefit you and potentially me in our future relationship together, as opposed to the short-sightedness of using that money on a one-time thing. For me, and while it's nice and thoughtful, it ends there, right? There's no more benefit past that. How can a 20-year-old start acquiring? Okay, so I'll say two things on this. First off, you can acquire a business at any age. Second off, it's a lot harder at certain ages than other ages, right? Obviously, when you're acquiring a business, you have a seller that wants to sell you the business. Now, if that seller is 60 years old, they've had this business for 30 plus years, and you're 20 years old and you don't have any experience of managing people or business or skills that you can show, that seller will probably be very skeptical of you being able to take their business, right? Now, if the business is an online business, if it's an e-com or SaaS or Amazon KDP or what have you, and the skill sets are skill sets that you can demonstrate that you have, then it's much easier, right? It really depends on the type of business, it depends on the size of business, it depends on the owner of that business, but it's 100% possible. We have a guy in our group, his name's Zach, you can actually watch on the channel the interview with him. He acquired an accounting firm. He lives in LA, he acquired the firm in DC, and he's on track to do 7 figures in profit this year. I think he's 24, 25 years old. Young guy, super smart, very talented. For the most part, most 24-year-olds would have a horrible time, very hard time to convince a retiring accounting firm owner to buy their business, especially since Zach doesn't have an accounting background. But he found a way to do it, and he did it through financing, he did it through showing what value he would bring to the table, and he was able to convince the seller as well as the bank that he could do that. So it's perfectly possible. You just got to be able to point to something in your past, experiences, skill sets, something that makes it a good decision for the bank if you're going to get financing, or the seller if he's going to do seller financing, on why you're a good bet to be the person to buy their business. You have to gain their confidence. You have to be able to build a rapport and build that trust. All right? Do you need to go to business school to be good at business? Absolutely not. And I'm saying this as someone who's been to business school. I have my MBA, and I can tell you it did not help me whatsoever in actually acquiring businesses. I didn't even learn about acquisitions when I went to business school. So it's not even like a topic that was gone over. It's very theoretical. It's very much how do you go and do a presentation, how do you go and actually talk on some of these theoretical business topics. It is not very practical in nature, and acquisitions and the work that we're doing is very practical, right? We're getting to look at P&Ls and tax returns and valuations and loans and personal guarantees. It's all very tangible stuff, very practical stuff, and an MBA or a business degree is not going to go down that path. Now, there's some better ones than others that may go and talk through acquisitions and the theory behind it, and that's fine. It's not going to hurt you, but definitely, some of the best people I know in acquisitions did not go to school for it. Actually, all the top guys I know some of the top guys didn't even go to college. And definitely the guys who are at the top that I know of, like their business degree was not the reason why they did it or were successful at it. So don't let that stop you. If you haven't gone to business school, don't say I'm going to go to business school so that I can be good at this, so that I can do this. Just If it's something you're interested, watch YouTube, buy books, do courses, whatever. Learn as much as you possibly can about it. Find someone who's done it, learn from them, and then go out and do it. I would say that's probably the best way of going about it. Every week, I'm going to try to do this Thursdays, right around the same time. Just be on the lookout. If you guys haven't subscribed, subscribe, look at the notifications so that when I go live. And again, if you guys have ideas, put them down below. I'd love to hear different ideas to talk about. But yeah, hope you guys are doing well, and I'll be talking to you all again shortly.